And in less than an hour, Governor Brian Kemp gave us an update from the Georgia Emergency Headquarters as it's working through a plan for the state. The governor and other state agency leaders talked in detail about how resources are being used getting ready for this winter weather event. 11 Alive's Karis Belger was there for the announcement. Karis, what were the takeaways from the plan that's already in place?
Well, the one thing that came up repeatedly is how different this weather event is from the last one we experienced about 10 days ago. One warning came up repeatedly from everyone who spoke. They want people to avoid driving as much as possible. They want people to get where they need to go by noon, early afternoon at the very latest. A lot of talk about how GDOT has been handling the preparation of the roads. The biggest concern being that road conditions could deteriorate quickly, especially in areas where we don't normally see snow in the state. We've been discussing the state of emergency that is in place until the 28th. Governor Kemp and Emergency Management Director Stallings said there are so many changing factors with this particular weather event. GDOT crews are doing continuous treatment, and we're told this storm is happening in some ways in a similar fashion to what we saw in 2014, where a lot of the concern is going to happen and become apparent in the afternoon. But unlike in 2014, GDOT says they are ready for this one.
Now, what's different from 2014 is obviously we've got a good layer of brine down on most of all the roads. Again, the interstates, the critical routes we are addressing, and we'll continue to address the other state routes across the entire state. This is just going to take time, and so we're asking everybody to just please give time. That means stay at home.
We also heard repeatedly that this is a statewide event. So even though there is a lot of concern with the southern part of the state, Governor Kemp emphasized in Metro Atlanta and surrounding areas, there still is a lot of concern because of the cold temperatures, particularly when it comes to plumbing. They want people to remember, get the drip on your faucets, and make sure you're being careful when it comes to keeping the inside of your home ready as well. Back to you.
Karis, my husband just texted me about the faucets. I'm also curious because a lot of talk about the roads, of course, the impact of snow and ice, but so many people lost power during the last winter storm. Did the governor talk about preparations from that standpoint?
Yes, and I did ask him about that. He mentioned that was part of the state of emergency declaration, and as part of that, his office has been in connection with utility companies across the state of Georgia to make sure they are prepared. Still, Director Stallings says people should be prepared if they do lose power. So they should have those generators, of course, not keeping them inside of garages, but having them available and also making sure their devices are charged just in case they do happen to lose power. At GEMA headquarters, I'm Karis Belger, 11 Alive News.
All right, Karis, it'll be a busy 24